My name is Ethan. For most of my life, my family treated me like a mistake they'd rather forget. My father, Charles Monroe, ran a multi-million-dollar aviation empire. My mother, Vivian, came from old money. My older brother, Nathan, was the golden child, charming, Ivy League educated, groomed to inherit the company. And me, quiet, creative, more interested in repairing things and managing them. In a house where power defined worth, that made me nothing. I was reminded constantly, at dinner, if I shared an idea, my father would dismiss me. That's not how the world works. Son, leave business to people who understand it. My mother would smile politely, as if to say, don't embarrass yourself. Even Nathan, who wasn't cruel by nature, treated me like a little brother who would never measure up. When I turned 18, I told my father I wanted to study mechanical engineering, not business. He didn't yell. He laughed. Fixing engines? That's your dream, Ethan? My hand shook as I said, no, Dad. My dream is to build something that doesn't depend on people like you to make it work. That was the last conversation we had. Without it spiraling into an argument, I left home with a single suitcase and a scholarship. For 4 years, I lived modestly, working in hangars, repairing old aircraft, learning everything I could about aviation systems. I loved it. Machines were honest. They broke, you fixed them, and they flew again. People weren't always so straightforward. Meanwhile, my family's empire grew. Monroe Group became one of the largest private aviation companies on the East Coast. Nathan rose to vice president. My father remained CEO. I wasn't even invited to my parents' 50th anniversary party. When my mother once ran into me at an airport, she barely recognized me. Still working with your hands? She asked, her voice thick with pity. I smiled. Still flying higher than you think. What they didn't know was that I had quietly built something of my own. With 2 former colleagues, I launched Steerage Systems, a small firm specializing in advanced navigation software for small aircraft. We worked tirelessly, took risks, and 5 years later secured a major FAA contract to modernize landing systems across multiple regional airports. One of them happened to be near my hometown, the same one where my family's jets often touch down. Fast forward to last December. A massive winter storm shut down airports across 3 states. I was at the control center of Steerage's operations hub, managing emergency landings and reroutes with our automated system. Exhausted but proud. Our software was keeping dozens of planes safe. Then an alert popped up, Monroe Group private jet. Emergency landing request. Fuel critical. Authorization required. My chest tightened. Monroe. My family's jet. The system flagged it for manual override. The runway they requested was icy, unsafe, and I was the one with authority to approve or deny it. I opened the channel. Greg, my father's pilot, voice familiar from childhood. Control, this is Jet 7MR. Requesting immediate clearance to land. Low on fuel. Authorization needed at West Bridge. Copy that, 7MR. I said, calm, professional. Runway conditions unstable. Executive clearance required. A pause. Greg's voice trembled. Ethan, is that you? Affirmative. It's me. Another pause. Then my father, tense. Ethan, we need to land now. Approve the clearance. For years, I'd rehearsed this moment in my head. Cold, commanding like nothing had changed. But everything had changed. Negative Monroe Jet 7. I replied evenly. Runway unsafe. Divert to Northfield Regional. I can clear you there in 5 minutes. You can't be serious, my father snapped. We don't have fuel for another detour. Then you should have checked conditions before takeoff, I said. This is a negotiation. Safety protocols apply to everyone, even you. Silence. Then my mother's voice, faint, in the background. Charles, just listen to him. That was the first time I'd ever heard her say that. Finally, my father sighed. Fine. Divert to Northfield. I cleared them and stayed on the line until the jet touched down safely. My heart pounded as I closed the channel. Hours later, an email arrived from my father's assistant. Thank you for your assistance tonight. Mr. Monroe requests a meeting. I almost deleted it. 2 weeks later, curiosity won. I met them at the company headquarters, the same marble building I'd left years ago. My father looked smaller somehow, older. You saved our lives, he said quietly. I owe you an apology. I was wrong about you. I didn't gloat. You don't owe me anything, Dad. Worth isn't measured by titles or money. It's measured by what you build when no one believes in you. That day, he offered me a position at Monroe Aviation. I declined. I already have a company, I said. And one day, you'll probably be using our systems in all your jets. He smiled faintly, the first genuine smile I'd ever seen from him. I didn't doubt it. Months later, Monroe Aviation signed a contract with Skirich Systems. The same family that once called me worthless now depended on the technology one had built to keep their planes and themselves safe. And the next time their jet requested clearance, it was automatically approved by my system. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't proving them wrong with words. It's building something so strong, they can't move without your permission,